Welcome back to Planet Doug, my first full day back in Sumatra. I don't know if you're interested in going along with me as I'm basically just settling in and running errands, but hey, that's what I'm doing today, and I thought I'd bring my GoPro along just for fun. I've already gotten a few things done. It's it's about noon right now, somewhere between noon and 1 o'clock. I spent the whole morning here just drinking instant coffee and editing the video of my ferry trip to get here. And that has been going okay, but I'm going to run into trouble again though because of the Wi-Fi problem. Again, low budget hotels come with Wi-Fi problems. That's always an issue. And this room just can't connect to Wi-Fi reliably. So the video is done, but I don't know how to upload it. Because what I did last time when I was here, I just bought tons and tons of mobile data and then I would upload it through a mobile connection. But of course, we're talking about Indonesia here, and they banned all of my phones. So I had one last phone last time I was here because they have the system here. I've gone on about it endlessly. It's endlessly annoying where customs requires you to register the IMEI of your phone, and they give you like 90 days to use that phone in Indonesia, and then they block it at the customs level. And don't misunderstand me, I'm not talking about the SIM card. That's a whole different issue. A SIM card is fine. You can get SIM cards easily, get them anywhere. In fact, this is the phone that I was using in Indonesia last time. So, this is my, I managed to get 2 months on this phone, an old Xiaomi that I have. And it has a SIM card in it, an Indonesian SIM card. And the SIM card is fine. It works perfectly fine. It's still valid. I have credit, I have data. It's all sitting right there. I can see it, but customs blocks the phone itself. So even though I have a mobile ready phone with a SIM card and a mobile account, and I have a connection, customs blocks the IMEI number. It blocks my phone by identifying it with the IMEI number, which is like the phone's serial number. And basically I can't connect. And this is my main phone here that I use all the time, a Samsung Galaxy S10. S10? Yeah, S10. And it was blocked last year when I was in Indonesia, and it's done. I can never use this phone in Indonesia ever again. And I have a third phone that I use for video editing, an older, well, I don't know if it's older, but a Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus, and I used that one on a trip to Sumatra the previous year, and it is blocked for the rest of its life. I can never use it in Indonesia again. So I've got 3 relatively modern phones, and I can't use any of them. 3 of them are blocked. So yeah, I can't upload using mobile data either, and I can't with Wi-Fi because the Wi-Fi doesn't work either. So anyway, I guess I'm gonna go to the Telkomsel office either today or tomorrow. It's like, yeah, you have to spend days doing this in Indonesia, at least I do. I don't hear anyone else ever talking about this, but it's haunted my life in Sumatra ever since I got here. And maybe they can extend my IMEI registration for another 2 months. And I did bring a 4th phone with me. I happen to have an old Apple iPhone, like the SE, the original SE, the mini phone. I have one of those, and I've never put a SIM card in it before, but I brought it with me on this trip just in case I might be able to use it. So if they reject all of my phones, all of my Android phones, I'll bring out this iPhone and say, well, can you put a SIM card into this one? And then I'll use it as a hotspot to run all my Android phones. It's a whole mess. So yeah, I'm dealing with that, which is so annoying. Yeah, and I already ran one errand this morning. I got some water. There's a water dispensing company right across the road. Right there, you can see the guy on the scooter. He's dropping off 2 bottles to be refilled. And that's basically what I do. So I drink all the water in this giant bottle and then use it until it's empty. And then I go back and refill it. And that costs 4,000 rupiah, which is about 25 cents US. And I don't really know what's in there. Is that 10 liters, 15 liters? something like that, 20 liters. Anyway, it's a lot of water. But yeah, it costs 25 cents US, and that's the best way to get water. So I've done that. I've edited a video that I can't upload. And I guess I'm gonna go out onto the streets. I've got a couple of things I need to do. I might get a haircut. If I walk by a barbershop, I might pop in and say, you know, what do you think? Can you do that right now? So that'll be my first errand. And I want to buy some special fuel that I use in my stove here. We're still in the middle of Ramadan, so a lot of the restaurants are closed, particularly, you know, during the daytime. And I do have my own camping stove, so I thought maybe I could just cook up some spaghetti in my room here at some point. So I thought I'd see if I can pick up some fuel. And that could be a bit of an adventure because I never seem to do anything the ordinary way. I use a special kind of fuel. I can talk about that later if I have the time to go track some down. I'm gonna have to go walking around my neighborhood to find this fuel at like a hardware store, a paint store, a place like that. And of course, every country in the world has a different name for this fuel. So I can't actually communicate it to anybody. I have to go physically see it. And then I can tell the guy at the paint store, that's what I need right there. And, but yeah, I can't really just ask people because they don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, before I get too hot and sweaty, before I even go outside, let's shut this preamble down and head out into the world. And I've got another GoPro running here on my neck mount. I should have had this running yesterday on my trip to come here. But I just couldn't be bothered with two GoPros, like one around my neck. It's kind of annoying. So I thought, let's just keep it simple and only use this one GoPro. But that turned out to be a real mistake because there's so many occasions where you can't hold on to a camera and film. And it's really handy to have this. And I just start recording here and I put this one away. But I didn't do that on the trip yesterday. So there's all kinds of events during that trip that I didn't get on video because I had no way to hold on to this camera. So it is handy to have this around your neck just in case you just sort of hit the button and it starts recording. So I have it. I'm looking very dorky today with my 2 GoPro setup. Though most people here, they don't care at all. Even if they see the GoPro, they're kind of happy. They love being filmed. They love having their pictures taken, either me taking a picture of them taking a picture of me, taking pictures of us together. Everybody loves shooting. They do a lot of live video here. Even when I went to Indomaret last night, I ran into one guy and he was doing a live Facebook feed and walking down the road. He was so excited to see me. He ran across the road. Lots of people do this all the time. He's got his phone recording video and he's like, hey, say hello to my friends, say hello to my mother. And so I'm just on video here all the time. So nobody minds if I have a GoPro around my neck. They go, okay, we understand. We get it. So anyway, let's head outside. I know from many trips up and down this street that there's a barber shop right here. It's very, very popular at night. It's usually so busy. I've never thought about going in there because it looked like I'd have to wait for a long, long time. But here in the midday heat, yeah, it still looks really busy. Every chair is taken. Yeah, I think all the good-looking guys, all the young, good-looking guys go there. And there's another barber shop right here. This is the one I went to before. And then there's another one here. Maybe I'll try this one. Nice small one, little neighborhood shop. So I did decide to pop into this little neighborhood place. I didn't think it was that busy, but it seems to be quite popular with like mothers with young children. So there are actually, I didn't really see anybody waiting for a haircut, but it turned out there were like a little squadron of children here waiting to get their hair cut. So anyway, maybe that's his specialty, I don't know. But I decided to hang in there and wait. It's kind of funny to see the kids. One of the fathers wanted to take a picture of me with their young son, and as often happens, he was very scared of me. I have an aura that terrifies children. I don't know what it is. I think they can sense that I'm uncomfortable around children, and they pick up that mood from me, and then they're just scared of me. But anyway, the father was pretty insistent, and the kid was like 3 feet away from me on the bench, and the dad came over, moved him closer, tried to take the picture, still wasn't good enough, moved him closer, and the kid really wanted nothing to do with the whole situation, but eventually he got the picture. And that same little boy got a haircut, and you could tell he was just scared the whole time. And they usually do like with a straight razor, they clean up the back of your neck with a straight razor. And that little boy was just freaked out by that sensation, and he was like curling up his shoulders and hunching over to get away from the razor. It was quite a struggle, but the barber he powered through and got it done. And now I've got another. You probably hear some crying. There's another little boy there getting a haircut. I'll just show the scene just briefly. And yeah, so he's crying. It was actually my turn next, but then the little boy was crying so much, I thought it's best just to get his job, get his haircut over with. So I said, yeah, he can go ahead of me. So my turn is next. Red light? Yeah, GoPro. So.
I have one.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
The GoPro?
In Kuta Bali Island.
Ah, you used it there. Do you remember what number? GoPro 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9?
4.
4?
It's all model.
Yeah, old model.
Where you come from? Where you come from?
Canada.
Canada.
I'm from Canada.
Ah! That's liberal country, right? Open country, liberal. That's liberal country.
Oh, liberal. Yeah, I think so.
What's your job?
English teacher
Oh, where?
in Taiwan.
Taiwan. Why you come here?
Holiday.
Oh,
Just,
really?
yeah. Traveling around Sumatra.
Oh.
But-
You never West Sumatra?
I've been here before.
Oh.
Yeah, actually many times. I've been to Tanjung Balai maybe 5 times. Yeah.
English teacher.
English teacher, but lately more like a editor. Do you know the word editor?
What editor?
Yeah, like English editor
Oh.
for writing, grammar.
Grammar, vocabulary.
Yeah, vocabulary.
Conversation,
Exactly.
tenses.
Exactly.
In Taiwan.
In Taiwan. Yeah. But I quit my job to go traveling.
In few years ago, in Singamaraja High School,
Yeah.
they have English teacher from United States.
Oh, really?
Yes. He's come here. I haircut his hair, and his name is Jonathan.
Jonathan.
But then COVID-19 take he's gone.
Oh, no.
I'm so sad. He's the best guy. You have family, sir?
Do I have family? No family.
You're not married?
Not married. No.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
In Indonesian, they said is Western, culture Western.
Yeah.
In Bali, many people like that.
Really?
In Tanjung Balai, well, in Bali is very big population of Hinduism. I never to Bali. Bali is good island.
Yeah.
But West Sumatra is a very good island
Yeah.
because yes, the nature and culture is the great culture. Because I'm from West Sumatra.
What city?
Meninjau.
I don't know it.
Near Bukit Tinggi.
Okay.
Bukit Tinggi. If you down to the Kelok 44, then
Right.
for the Meninjau Lake.
I see.
Meninjau Lake. Because
okay.
if you go down, go far from Bukit Tinggi. That's name is Muko Land.
Yeah, I went to Bukittinggi before,
Before.
and to Padang.
Padang, yes, that's Padang City.
Yeah, I like it there.
The island, you saw the Cuba the island?
I didn't go to the islands, no.
Oh, why?
I didn't have enough money to go there.
Yes, it's very expensive.
Yeah, more.
The boat is very expensive.
And then the hotels and
Hotel,
everybody who goes there, they like to go surfing.
something.
But I don't go surfing. Expensive hobby.
Yes,
So,
it is public secret. Very expensive.
when you went to Bali, why did you go there?
Because I had married.
Oh,
I have daughter. So if I go to Bali, I very much money. I need much money, more money.
oh,
Because the plan is very expensive. The hotel expensive. But my friend in Bali, I have a friend in Bali. Now he get a job, guide.
a guide.
Guide, yes, in Bali. But he's a single parent.
Oh, okay.
But I can. I have daughter. I have wife. I can live the instead in Bali. If I will go to Bali.
So, what was your job when you were in Bali? What was your job?
Oh, barber.
Also barber. Ah,
Barber, gardener, garden,
I see.
farm fruit in Bali.
So, why did you come to Tanjung Balai?
My family is here. My father, my mother,
I see.
my dad, my sister, my younger brother is here.
So, how many years in Tanjung Balai this time that you have this?
54 years.
You?
54 years in Tanjung Balai.
Well, how long have you had this barber shop here?
3 years.
3 years.
3 years.
Okay.
In here is 3 years. In my brother place, 15 years.
Oh, I
In
see.
Bali, 1 year.
I see. Okay. Do you like Tanjung Balai?
Yes. This is free city.
Ah,
You can see the people not use helmet, no police.
that's true.
Yes?
That is true.
No transport, no traffic light.
Yeah, no traffic lights. I noticed that. Yeah, no traffic lights.
In Medan, you will arrest the police if you not use the helmet. It is free city,
Okay.
but it's safe city.
It's
No begal, no criminal.
also
Begal,
said.
no.
Okay.
You know, the robber.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
No, yeah. In American, we can hear people shoot by gun. This is no.
Not here. No.
It's very safe city.
That's good. Yeah, I came yesterday from Malaysia.
Yes, I see that. You walk,
Oh,
use the
yeah.
bicycle.
Yeah. But when I came from the ferry, I went with a man on his bike on his motorcycle. But of course, on the motorcycle, I had no helmet.
It's okay,
So,
yeah?
yeah, no problem.
No problem.
Yeah.
In Medan, you will rest.
Oh yeah. That's funny.
Use free city.
I've gone reclining now. I'm getting the full treatment. I should come here every morning. So, thank you very much again.
Yes.
So it's Eisen.
Aizer.
Eisen. I'll try to remember. But I'll be staying here for at least 1 week.
Okay.
maybe more. So maybe I'll see you again. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, right.
So yeah, that was a great experience there. Where my GoPro is pointing right now, that's the Malahayati Hotel right there. And there's a scooter, motorcycle washing place across the road. The Indomaret is just down in that direction. And this is the barbershop, Pangkas Patan. And I didn't give a lot of like directions. I don't have a hairstyle in mind or anything like that. I just always say shorter and neater. That's all I'm looking for. And in this case, he gave me a shave, which is a very rare event in my life. I don't generally have like shaves done, but that was kind of interesting. And then he would not let me pay for the haircut. He said it was free. That's very kind of him. Guys here in Tanjung Balai. It's crazy though how holidays disrupt my life to such an extent, especially this time of year. It starts around Christmas, of course. Christmas, New Year's. Things are closed. People are busy. Everybody's going on holidays. It's like my routines all get disrupted. And then you head straight from there into Chinese New Year. The whole world gets turned upside down again. And then you just come out of Chinese New Year and you're like, finally life can get back to normal. But of course, if you're in Malaysia or Indonesia, now there is Ramadan. So all of my usual places where I might have snacks or get something to eat, most of them tend to be closed during the daytime, of course, because it's a fasting period during the day. So yeah, it takes a long time for life to get back to normal, whatever normal is, once Christmas rolls around. But let's pop into Indomaret for either a cold drink. Yeah, I don't think they make coffee at places like this. Hai. Terima kasih.
Yeah.
So I got a bottle of my favorite soy milk. And this time I remembered that the lid has a little tooth on it, and the tooth, you use it to cut open the foil seal. So many times I got one of these and I forgot about the tooth, and I'm like digging at it with my fingernails, trying to open it, and I can't. So in terms of my last errand that I want to run, or maybe second last task for the day, I don't know whether I'll be able to do it or not. I was talking about my camp stove, and it's a Tranja camping stove. So it burns alcohol, an alcohol fuel. So it's not like gasoline or white gas or anything like that. It's just like alcohol, which also has many different names around the world, like methanol, for example. And different countries, you can buy it in different places because they use it as paint thinner. So you can buy it at like hardware stores and paint shops. You ask for paint thinner, and then they have like varnish oil-based paint thinner, but then they have latex paint thinner, which is methanol. And then, yeah, I buy a couple of bottles of that. and you can cook with it. But of course, you have to be very, very careful with methanol. And I've known about this for years because I've used Trangia cook stoves almost my entire life. And what I've learned over the years is that methanol is poisonous. If you drink it, you're in big trouble. It is alcohol, essentially, and there have been many cases where people would drink methanol either on purpose or by accident, and you can die from it quite easily. You go blind. It affects your vision. People go blind from methanol. It's really horrible stuff. So you do have to be very careful with methanol. And interestingly, it's become a big story in the news here in Asia. I've been tracking it online, and there's been, it goes on all around the world all the time, and I don't fully understand it, to be honest. But recently it made big headlines because a lot of backpackers, like foreign tourists, backpackers, were getting methanol poisoning in places like, mainly in Laos. That's where I heard of this main story, places like Vang Vieng. And there were hostels there where they would give you like free alcohol or something like that, or very, very cheap alcohol. And then you stay at this hostel, and then they have this very cheap alcohol, or it's free, and they're drinking it. And then a lot of these backpackers got a methanol poisoning, very serious cases. I was listening to a podcast about 2 days ago about this story, and in that case, I think 5 people got very sick, and one woman died. She died in the hospital, and then other people had their vision affected, and they were very, very sick for days in the hospital. So it was a terrible thing. But what I don't understand about the story is that when they talk about how the methanol got into the drinks, they always say that the people who make it buy the methanol and then add it to add the alcohol content. So it's as if it's a cheaper way of making an alcoholic drink. They buy the methanol and then they mix it in to raise the alcohol content. But that's never made any sense to me because it's quite expensive to buy. Like, unless you find a bulk supplier, I guess, you go into a hardware store or a paint store, you're getting tiny bottles like this, and they can actually be quite expensive. So it doesn't make sense to me that someone would try to save money by adding methanol. My understanding is that most of the cases in history come from poor alcohol production. Like if someone has like a homemade still, and they're making their own alcohol in the barn or something, and the whiskey production, they do it improperly, and they get methanol instead of pure alcohol or something like that, and then people get poisoned accidentally because they made the whiskey or the vodka or whatever it is, they made it improperly, and it becomes contaminated with methanol. But the way they talk about it when it comes to Cambodia and Laos, where all these backpackers are getting methanol poisoning, they're saying that the alcohol producers did it on purpose to save money. But again, that doesn't make any sense to me because I think it's pretty common knowledge that methanol is toxic. So why would they do it? They know they're going to get in trouble, even if it saves them money. But at the same time, I don't see how it saves them money because methanol, in my experience, is quite expensive to buy. So anyway, it's just a story that's been on my mind lately because I've been hearing about it in the news quite often. And I do hear people talking a lot about safety online. People give me a lot of advice about safety. Everybody's really worried about a lot of things. But in my experience, most of the things that people are worried about are statistically unlikely to happen. So you don't really need to worry about those, but methanol poisoning is probably one of the most common things to be happening lately. So in terms of a safety concern, it's actually just hanging out at a bar and drinking cheap alcohol is one of the most dangerous things you can do in Southeast Asia right now. So many people have gotten sick from it. But all that being said, I'm looking for methanol, not to drink it, but just to cook spaghetti with it. That's my goal here. And I'm just going to walk up and down the street, see if I can find a paint store. I tried to do it on Google Maps, but the Wi-Fi was out at the hotel, so I couldn't connect to Wi-Fi. And of course, I have no mobile internet either. So on Google Maps, I can't search for hardware stores or paint stores or anything like that. No luck on the paint store or the hardware store. I thought there would be one at least. There's one in every neighborhood. So I thought if I just walked long enough in my own neighborhood, I came down to the main road and walked along the main road for like a kilometer. And usually you run across at least one in that distance, but I didn't see anything. So it's really hot out there. So I think I'm going to wait until I have internet access, and then I can pinpoint exactly where a hardware store is or a big paint store. Do a hard target search for my fuel for my Tranja cook stove. Anyway, as I was walking down the street, heading back to my hotel, I passed this Ayam Bakso place. I've never had a meal in this restaurant before, so I figure I'll pop in and try it out. There's the, yeah, it's kind of interesting that this Ayam Bakso cart is a cart. You know, it's on wheels, and they could roll it into a market or wherever they wanted to set up at the side of the road. But just as easily, they can set it at the front of a room like this, and yeah, just serve. Basically, it turns every room into a Ayam Bakso restaurant, you know. So. Yeah, these places are really busy right now because it's one of the few restaurants where you can get lunch. So, yeah, I noticed a lot of the restaurants that are open, they have their front shutters almost completely closed. They look like they're closed, but when you get near them, you can look through the crack and you see it's full of people. But because it's Ramadan, people that, like non-Muslims, are eating during the day like I am. But then they're trying to do it discreetly, not to make a big deal out of it. So a lot of these, my main, oh, yes, thank you. Yeah, well, yeah, I was just saying my main Ayam Bakso place, I thought it was closed, so I kind of walked right on by it. But I think now thinking back, I think it was open. So there's a little crack in the door. But anyway, I found this place and very quick service. They brought it to my table, and there it is. good lunch. Let me dive into this. Jumped ahead to the next morning now, and I'm just about to head to the Telkomsel Grapari office, which is where I need to go to sort out all of my smartphone IMEI number issues. Got my new haircut going on. And just to give you a sense of what is happening, this is what I'm bringing with me. So this is my main phone, blocked last year. That's my video editing phone, blocked 2 years ago. And this is my current phone that I was using on my last trip to Sumatra. That was blocked this year. And now I'm gonna try and get this one extended. So that's my main goal, is to take this phone, which has a SIM card in it, data, credit, all of that stuff. And I'm going to say to them, like, can you give me 2 more months on customs with this phone? If not, I'm gonna try and get them to move the SIM card from this phone into this iPhone SE, which I've never used. Like, I've never used it with a SIM card, so I don't know what challenges, but I'm hoping if I can get this one up and running, I can just use it as a hotspot to drive these 3 phones via a hotspot. But anyway, it's pretty insane, but that's what I'm trying to do. But anyway, I don't want to babble about that too much right now. I've actually been waiting too long already. It's already 10 o'clock in the morning. And these Grapari offices get really busy. Not with foreigners, of course. I think I'm the only foreigner in town at the moment. But local people have to spend a lot of time at the main telecom company offices, like whatever they need to do to get their phones set up, pay their bills, change the account, whatever they need to do, switch it to a new phone, seems to take a long time for them too. So going to one of these offices filled with local people usually, so it can be quite busy. Anyway, I gotta head out and see if I can get this done. So my adventures with Wi-Fi continue. In my room, it's really slow, and for whatever reason, I've had this experience in the past with my old MacBook Pro, and now with my Asus TUF A16. They are weaker, they have more trouble connecting to hotel Wi-Fi than my phones do. I don't know why that would be, but they do. So what I normally do is I connect my phone to the hotel's Wi-Fi, and then I set up a hotspot and then run my laptop off my phone's hotspot. But in my room, it just doesn't work at all. It's just way too slow, and it disappears for long periods of time. There's like no Wi-Fi at all. And then when it does show up, it would take me like 3, 4, 5 days to finish uploading a video. So what I did is yesterday, late night, I came out here. So there's actually a couple of chairs out here, like a bench. And I just sat down on one of these benches, set up my laptop over here on this side actually. And then I uploaded the video here because the router, or one of the routers, is over here. So there is better Wi-Fi in here, but that means basically I had to sit out here for 4 hours sweating and sweating and sweating, just waiting for the video file to finish uploading. But at least it finished here in 4 hours as opposed to 4 days. So that video is now uploaded to YouTube, but man, it's such a huge time investment. But what I'm gonna do right now, I'm doing testing of the speeds, and I'm wondering, because they have a little restaurant down here, a little cafe or something. I thought maybe they have Wi-Fi connected to the hotel, because it's part of the hotel. So I'm gonna do a speed test down there and then see whether it's the same as up here. Then I could sit down there in more comfort maybe. It's still gonna be hot and sweaty, but anyway, I'm doing some speed testing right now to check the Wi-Fi. Yeah. Excellent. So that's the little restaurant right outside my hotel. I just checked the uploading speeds there, and it wasn't really useful. In my room, it's pretty much 0, but there it was about 5 megabits per second. And then up on the balcony, where I went yesterday, it was about 35 megabits per second. So it's like, yeah, 7 times faster if I go upstairs. But anyway, in a bit of an unusual move for me, I'm taking a Baychak to the Telkomsel office. I was planning to walk there, And I was actually going to take one of these roads up ahead. This is the like Alpha Mart right here, and I was going to take, I think this road right here, sort of a small neighborhood road right there, and just go for a walk. But I'm just running really late this morning, so, and I didn't want to arrive at Telkomsel really hot and sweaty, so here I am on, in a Baycheck. There's the driver over there. There are like 3 or 4 Baycheck drivers who hang out outside my hotel, and I generally don't use them because I either walk or I ride my bike. But just to have a little bit of an adventure today and not be so hot and sweaty, I hopped into Baycheck. Yeah, this is my local neighborhood. Ooh, bananas. They're not usually there. I haven't seen that banana stall before either. Like I said, I think in yesterday's videos, I was talking about how the neighborhood here changes all the time. If you're gone for even a short amount of time, you come back. So many little shops have opened up, changes a lot.
Tanjung Balai, Telkomsel.
Here we are, Telkomsel Grapari. Terima kasih. Berapa harganya?
Biasa kalau sini 25.
There's 22 for 5.
Terima kasih ya.
Okay, thank you. I already have a phone with Telkomsel SIM card, but because of IMEI, they blocked it. So maybe I can extend another 2 months.
Your email broke here.
Yeah,
Your name, sir?
it's Douglas.
Douglas. Okay. Let's go.
Okay, thank you. But good news, even though they told me a number of times that no, all my phones have reached the limit, I handed over my main phone and they said, they looked at it and they asked me a bunch of questions that I don't really understand. I don't understand the system because it feels like all the information should be in their computer, but they're asking me how many times, like for how long have you used this phone in Indonesia? And to be honest, I don't even know because I've had to switch so many different phones so many times. I have no idea. So I just sort of invent a short amount of time and tell her, oh, I've only used it this amount of time. And then she asked me, well, how long were you out of Indonesia? Because you have to leave the country and be outside of Indonesia for a certain amount of time, and then you come back in and it resets the clock or something. But again, you'd think this could, it's all in my passport. They look at my passport as well, and it should all be in their computer. But anyway, I just give her a number, I just make it up. And then she asked me, well, how many times have you extended this phone? Have you done it 1 time or 2 times? And again, she's asking me. And I don't know. I do not remember. And I just says, well, I think this is the 2nd time, but I'm not sure. And so I answered all her questions to the best of my ability. And then she went to work on the computer, and it took like 30 minutes maybe. And she had to get up and go talk to a supervisor. Then she had to come back to the computer, do a bunch more things. She had to take my picture posing with my passport, enter all this data, and then she had to get up. And she went into a back room to another computer and was doing some work there. And then she left that computer, came back to the main one, and continued working. As often happens with a lot of these things, it feels like they're writing a novel. they have to do so much typing, just typing and typing and typing with the mouse, clicking and clicking and clicking. I have no idea what she's doing. But at the end of it, she handed the phone back and said, hey, you're all set up. You've been given 90 more days to use this phone, and then you can extend it again. So if I wanted to come back, and I can get another extension. So I don't understand. I have no idea how the system works. But in the end, good news. My phone is all set up. I bought an internet package. I got 80 gigabytes for 100,000 rupiah. And 100,000 rupiah is about $6 US. So I got 80 gigabytes of data for $6. And I think that amounts to 7.5 cents per gigabyte. So it's a pretty good deal. I honestly wasn't expecting anything to work out. I thought all my phones were finished, and I thought I'd have to switch over to this iPhone SE, but then I'd have to get a new SIM card, and it would turn into a whole big problem. But yeah, everything worked out fine, much better than I expected. And this is the main road in Tanjung Balai. Leaves Tanjung Balai and goes to Kisaran. So it's got a lot of traffic on it. And one of the errands I didn't finish yesterday was getting fuel for my cook stove. Oh, look at this. This is the place where I had like sort of a late lunch. Remember, I took a boat ride here in Tanjung Balai with two people that I met. And this is where we had lunch after the boat ride was over. But yeah, it's not open now, of course, because we're still in the middle of Ramadan. Everybody is fasting during the day, so most of the restaurants are closed. Luckily, Ayam Bakso is a popular dish with like non-Muslim population here, so I can still get Ayam Bakso during the day, it seems like. And yeah, but anyway, one of the errands I couldn't finish was getting the fuel for my stove, because I had no internet. I couldn't locate paint stores or hardware stores. But I think I'm going to be walking by one today, or at least I'm supposed to be, according to Google Maps. So yeah, this is kind of interesting. I don't really associate Ramadan or Raya with firecrackers and fireworks, but here they're setting off all kinds of fireworks and firecrackers all night long, every night. So you see these places like selling fireworks all over the place. You can see all these food places. They're all closed because it's Ramadan. I was reminded that my first real experience in an Islamic country was when I went to Guinea in West Africa. Hello. There's everybody shouting at me from the local van going by. But yeah, I went to Guinea in West Africa on a bike trip, and that was my first Muslim country that I went to back in 2000 or something like that. And for whatever reason, I arrived right in the middle of Ramadan. I didn't even know it was happening. But when I got there and I started cycling through the countryside, it was almost impossible to find any food. Like normally it would be difficult to find food just on a normal day or month. And then because it was Ramadan, yeah, I ended up living on bread and cheese. I could find this Laughing Cow cheese, like a round disc of soft cheese, I think from France or something, called Laughing Cow. And I could buy that in little shops, and I just kept stocking up on Laughing Cow cheese, and that's what kept me alive during Ramadan. But yeah. Okay. Still looking for this. I'm fine, thank you. Hello. For this hardware store, but yeah, I don't see anything. This is a busy intersection. I've been here quite a few times, actually. The Indomall Fast Ferry Company, their ticket office is down in that direction. So I've gone up and down this area on my bicycle a number of times. And in the past, there was a kind of outdoor coffee shop up ahead. I keep meaning to check it out, but I've never gone there. Could go there today, but because of Ramadan, it's probably not open. But anyway, I'm probably not going to go that far because I want to get off the main street. So here's a gateway into another neighborhood, another district. And I wanted to see if I can work my way back to my hotel through these quieter streets. Hello.
Hello.
I'm fine, thank you.
How are you?
Hey. Yeah, I tried to plot a route to take me through this neighborhood, but it's actually not that easy. All the streets go in this direction, and there isn't really a small road that goes off to the left back to where my hotel is, but maybe I can find a way. And I could see on Google Maps that I'd be passing over a small stream, and I was wondering whether I could walk along it to get back to my neighborhood. But yeah, I don't think so. There might be some portions of it, like this side here, you know, you could walk along the edge here, some houses there, but I need to go in this direction. And as you can see, yeah, there's just no way to follow alongside the river here. I thought there might be a road or a pathway following it, but no. That doesn't look possible, so I have to look for a street up ahead where I can turn left. And there's a whole series of roads here called Gang Jalak, something like that. And I think I can go this way. And it meets up with a similar, like a kind of a regional, rural road like this one. There's another one running parallel to it in this direction. And I think these little laneways connect them. So I think I can go down here. Slowly work my way back.
Understand?
No, saya tidak. I'm just going to my hotel, Malahayati. Yeah, Malahayati Hotel, right over there. From, I had to go to Telkomsel Grapari, and now hotel. And saya tidak bisa bicara bahasa Indonesia.
Foto kalian. Ayo. Oh, cepatlah Kalista. Iya, lama. Ayolah kita berfoto.
So saya bisa bicara bahasa Inggris. Inggris.
Iya. Beri fotokanlah kami. Oh. Foto kamu foto.
Ayo go.
Maybe with the light in this direction?
Oh.
A better light. Good light.
Foto dah. Wes. Di sini dah biar nampak anakku juga. Ha.
Sini. Cepat.
Warnanya sama.
You scared?
Dah. Okey.
Okay.
Kalilah yang cantik.
Semuanya lah.
Ayo semuanya. Sini. Okey.
Alright.
Terima kasih. Thank you.
You're welcome. No problem. Nice to meet you. Go, come down here.
Ayo.
There he is.
Udah. Kasih yo.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye. Not getting much of a break from the heat today. There's no wind at all, and in this little neighborhood here, what little wind there is like non-existent. Whew. So yeah, I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt, but yeah, it's extremely hot. But yeah, here's my neighborhood, little houses like this all around. The man who gave me a ride from the dock yesterday no, 2 days ago, I guess, when I arrived, he brought me to a house, looked very much like this one here. One of these, he lives in a neighborhood like this, so I got to go inside and see the inside of the house. Yeah, something like this, I guess. Met with his wife and his children. Yeah, I guess this is quite a typical neighborhood for Tanjung Balai, where most of the people live. Yeah, it's interesting. So that's where I just came from, and as I thought, it hooked up with another slightly larger road over here. And I can just go this direction for a couple of streets and turn left. I think the Malahayati is only like half a kilometer away, so we're getting close. I know I've said it a million times, but I'm still astonished at how much... I'm fine, thank you. Yeah, I'm astonished at... to a Hotel Malahayati. Yeah, right there. Hello. So, yeah, that way. Yep, thank you. And yeah, just saying how much Google Maps has transformed my life, where you can just walk anywhere like this and you know exactly where you are and how to get to where you want to go. It's just opened up so much more of the world. And this is a perfect example because there's the road ahead of me, but on Google Maps I can see that I can head where I need to go down this little laneway. At least I think I can. I think it goes ahead and does a little dog leg and then continues. But yeah, without Google Maps, you wouldn't be aware of any of this. Or I guess it's not strictly speaking Google Maps. I just happen to use Google Maps. It's more about satellite mapping, I guess. Another local neighborhood. I'm endlessly curious about these houses. The people who live here and how they earn a living, what their day-to-day lives are like. And according to Google Maps, I should be able to, yeah, there it is, little, like, the fact that you can actually see this dog leg from outer space practically. Hi. Hello. On, yeah, like a satellite mapping program is incredible. You can just go anywhere you want to go these days. You couldn't do that in the past without getting completely lost for hours at a time. So, because you're so worried about getting lost.
Hi, mister. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine too. No. Where are you from?
I'm from Canada.
Canada.
Yeah, Canada.
Go to Indonesia.
Yeah, a tourist.
Oh,
Yeah. So my hotel is here.
Okay.
Hotel Malahayati.
Oh, Hotel Mayani. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Hello. You too.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you, mister.
Puppies. Even after all the time I've spent in Sumatra, I still get confused about the two questions. Where are you from? And sort of where are you going? So I never know how to answer the question if they ask me in Indonesian. I generally assume they're asking me, where are you from? You know, dari mana? But quite often they're not asking me that. They're actually asking me, like, where am I going? Here I am walking through their neighborhood and they want to help me. Like, are you lost? Where are you going? And I often end up answering the wrong question because I can't tell the difference between them. Almost back at my street, I think right up ahead there where you see the motorcycles going by. That's the street where my hotel is located. And the Alpha Mart and Indo Maret should be right there. So I think I'm going to pop in and grab a cold drink. Changed my mind, decided that something to eat was needed. I haven't had breakfast or lunch or anything, so this is my favorite Ayam Bakso place. And as I mentioned earlier, I think a lot of these restaurants, they're keeping their doors partially closed. They're open for business and they're serving customers, but they're not making, they're not trying to make a big deal out of it. They're trying to be respectful to the people that are fasting. So it is open, but they just have the doors open just a crack. They don't have it wide open. Yeah, I appreciate that. It's really nice in here. I managed to get a table with a big fan running. It's amazing how much difference that makes. If you sat here without the fan, you would just have sweat pouring down your face. But that little bit of air blowing cools you down so much. It makes you understand laptops and smartphones, how they overheat. But if you put a little fan inside, it actually manages to cool them down. You wouldn't think blowing air would do that much, but it makes a huge difference. And I got a couple of bottles of iced tea with some ice and my favorite Ayam Bakso. So I'm going to enjoy this very much. So, almost back at the Malahayati Hotel. Yeah, it worked out pretty well, this little errand run this morning, getting things done. Got another 90 days of IMEI registration with customs on my phone. 80 gigabytes of data. As a internet person, I feel like a billionaire now with 80 gigabytes. But of course, I'll burn through that pretty fast. I tend to go through tons of data. And got my Ayam Bakso for lunch. That was good. And once I'm back in my room, I think I'm going to take a shower to cool down, have a cup of coffee, maybe this afternoon. Get on the job. I got to clean up my bicycle. It's all in good condition, but my bike needs to be cleaned. It'd be covered in dust and grime. Even sitting way back in the hotel where it is, a lot of dirt and dust from the road flows into that hotel and covers everything. So even though I have my bicycle covered with a tarp, I know from experience it's going to be really dirty. So I got to clean the whole thing up. And there's where I got my haircut. Pangkas Patan. Right there.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. It's interesting, one of the most common businesses around here is like hair cutting places. And next to that are like scooter, motorcycle washing places. And I guess they're quite popular because almost anybody can open, there's not a lot of capital investment. Like to cut hair, all you really need is a chair, a mirror, and a comb and a pair of scissors, that sort of thing. And then to wash a bicycle or a scooter, you just need a place with water and soap, right? Anyway, while I was walking by a place and I thought I'd ask, just for the experience, whether they can wash my bicycle for me. It'd just be a lot easier for them to do it. And they said, yeah, only 10,000 rupiah, which seems surprisingly like a low price, but I'm gonna get my bike right now and roll it over there and they're gonna wash it up for me, which is nice. Yeah. Oh. So, ooh boy. That tarp is just covered in dirt and dust. Ay, ay, ay. So, can't even remember what kind of knots I tied to put the tarp on here. But just get the tarp off. And of course, spiders have all made their home in here. Man, So covered in dust. And yeah, just some homemade bags. This is where I put my bicycle lock. And yeah, just a little, kind of like a small handlebar bag, just for a smartphone and cycling gloves and sunscreen, things like that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wash these in my room. Yeah, and the seat cover is like made of cloth and gel, so it doesn't need to get wet. So I'll put that there for now. So much dirtier than I expected. Yikes. It is so dirty. So all that gear is safely stowed away in my room. I often find the pricing here is sometimes confusing. Some things seem to cost more than they should, and then other things seem to cost far too little. Like he said, to wash my bicycle for me, it would only cost 10,000 rupiah, which doesn't seem like enough money. So, that's it. Okay. Let's see.
Saya akan kembali lagi nanti sore. Tidak perlu terburu-buru.
Oh.
Anda tidak perlu terburu-buru.
So,
Yes.
yeah, I'll come back later.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll see you later. Okay. So yeah, so this is the washing place. Look at that, even rolling my bike in. The wheels left so much dirt behind. Yeah, poor things needs some TLC. So, just gonna leave it there for a few hours. What's that?
From is
I'm from Canada.
Canada.
Canada. Yeah.
Photo dulu brother.
Yeah, sure. There you are. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, your keys.
Ini
Yeah.
mau kapan?
Yeah, I'm staying hotel,
Hotel.
Malahayati, and then Lake Toba, Sibolga, Banda Aceh, travel. Tourist.
Tour.
Yeah, everywhere.
Okay.
I was just saying that quite often some things seem to cost more than they should, and other things cost far less than it feels like they should. Maybe that has to do with labor, because in Canada, labor is so expensive, and in other parts of the world, labor is relatively inexpensive. So, as I said, yes, 10,000 rupiah for him to wash my bicycle for me, and that's 60 cents US. So, less than $1 US, significantly less, like half a dollar. And that doesn't seem like nearly enough to wash, like a full-grown man to wash my bicycle, But I told him there's no rush. He doesn't have to hurry. I'm just going to relax here for a couple hours and 3 hours maybe, I'll go back and pick up my bike. In the meantime, I can clean all the little things in my hotel room bathroom. All right, it's about 4 o'clock now. Time to go back and see if my bicycle is spick and span. Yeah, I don't think I've ever done this before, like paid someone else to clean my bicycle. But I mean, it kind of makes sense here because it's like the bike was so dirty and dusty. It's a lot easier for someone to do it if they happen to have an open area with a hose and they just take a big hose and spray it down. And I don't have access to anything like that. So yeah, it's a lot easier. So let's go see how it turned out. Nice and clean. Looks a lot better from a distance, though every time I look at that kickstand, it's such a cheap kickstand. It just keeps bending and twisting. Yeah. So there it is. Got my bike. Now I just have to make sure I oil everything that needs to be oiled because everything got wet and soapy, and so just got to make sure everything's greased and oiled now. I think I'll just let it dry overnight. Hi, how are you? This is a crazy intersection. We got traffic coming from so many directions at so many different speeds. And then here is a coconut place.
Welcome.
Thank you. Satu, ya?
10,000.
10,000. 10.
Yeah.
10,000.
Rp20.
Excellent.
Okay, thank you
Okay,
very much.
thank you. Terima kasih. So there it is. It looks a lot better. As I said, I'm going to have to go over it tomorrow morning and oil the chain and oil all the cables and things like that. But I think I'll just let it sit for tonight. Getting towards the end of the daylight part of the day, so I'm going to enjoy my iced coconut drink out here on the balcony. So this is where my room sits. It's quite a noisy street, And there's something going on across the road down this laneway, but I don't really know what it is. A ceremony of some kind. Could be Ramadan related, or it could be just a family that is having a family event. Could be a funeral. Could even be, seems a bit somber. I was going to say it could be a wedding, but feels a bit somber, so it could be a funeral. Or it could just be related to Ramadan, I'm not sure. All right, here it is. What I like about this is they actually have the straw inserted through the neck of the plastic bag. So I don't, normally when things come in a plastic bag like this with a special knot and elastic band and stuff like that, I always end up making a huge mess. Like if it's a rice meal and it has sauces in these little plastic bags, I make a huge mess. So this is kind of nice. I don't have to do anything. I can just drink it. And I think that's something I do all the time in places like Indonesia. I don't drink enough. So every time I get something like this and I start drinking it, I can feel my body just wants to inhale it and then have like 10 more of them right away because I'm always so dehydrated. I can feel it. I don't want to stop swallowing. My body's just telling me, just keep it coming, keep it coming. I just don't drink enough. And I noticed when they were mixing these up, they do add a little bit of sugar, like there's some sweetening, which I like because coconut water by itself, I always find a little bit bitter, just a little bit. Like if you just get somebody to crack open a coconut and you put a straw into it, it's okay. I don't go out of my way to get it. It's a little bit bitter, and if it's not cold. But now having it like this with a bit of sugar added, with ice in the bag, it's delicious. And I suppose this coconut drink is a little bit like what I was talking about with the pricing. How I can never quite get a handle on it because for someone to wash my bike, they charge me 10,000 rupiah, and then I get a complete drink like this for 10,000 rupiah. Same price, but somehow it seems like washing my bike should command a higher price, higher than 10,000 rupiah for some reason. But anyway, I gave the guy a 10,000, and then I gave him 10,000 rupiah tip to the young man. I think it was the young man who actually cleaned my bike. But even paying twice as much, like paying 20,000 instead of 10,000, you're still basically paying $1, US $1. So yeah, I can't really argue with that. So good. So I think that is it for today. Well, for yesterday and today, just basically running some errands, getting organized. Yeah, very productive, very enjoyable days at the same time. So that's it. Shutting down for the rest of today. I'll see you in the next video.